Hi and welcome to the screencast. I'm your host Muhammad Azam, and in this particular video I will show you how you can call Ruby methods from statically typed language like C#. If you have not watched the first videos about configuring and installing IronRuby, then I highly recommend that you do so, because in that video I showed how you can set up your paths correctly and how you can build assemblies, which are referenced over here, IronRuby and IronRuby libraries. Okay, and also dynamic. The first thing you need to do is to create the runtime for IronRuby. So I'm just going to create a runtime over here. Runtime will allow the IronRuby engine to run, and also the engine, which is like runtime.getEngine, and we're going to get the IronRuby engine. And once we have the engine, we can simply execute the commands like puts hello world from IronRuby using C#. Okay, so we can do this, and if I run this, it's going to simply display the text. Okay, we can also execute the whole thing. Like if I want to execute the whole file, I can say execute file and give it a path, and the path is right over here. So if you take a look at this Ruby file, you'll notice it has a person class, it has a greet method, and when the file is executed, it just creates a new person object and execute the greet function. So let's execute that, and it simply says hello world from IronRuby. Okay, now sometimes we want to do some other stuff, like if I wanted to create a screen scraper in IronRuby. Okay, so I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to say okay, class screen scraper. Okay, end of class. Maybe it has a function called, I don't know, scrape screen. It takes a URL, and we are going to say like page equal to open, and I'm going to pass a URL. So open function is basically a Ruby method which will takes in the URL, and it will read in the page. And I can say over here page read, page.read, going to return whatever we have read from the page. To use this open function, we need to put something else, which is a library open URI, because the definition of open function is actually defined in this. So let's go to our program and let's see how we can do that. So I'm going to first say over here, I need to execute it, so I'm just going to say scope equal to engine.execute file, and I'm going to execute the file. Okay, and then I can say over here var screen scraper object, and you can of course name different things, dot runtime dot globals, and get the variable. In this case we are getting a screen scraper, that's a variable name, and then I can say screen scraper equal to engine dot operations, and then create the instance of the object. Once we have the object, the last thing to do is to fire the function. So operations dot invoke member, and now I can invoke the member. I can say screen scraper comma and the member name. So what method name I need to execute over here, which is screen scrape, or is it scrape screen, something like that. So it's scrape screen. So I'm going to copy it over here. Any URL that I need to pass, I do need to pass URLs, which is my blog azamsharp.com and default page. So this will actually execute it. It's going to also return me some data, because when it scrapes screen, it's going to return me the HTML, and I'm just going to display the HTML over here. Okay, let's run this, and it throws an exception. It says that okay, I'm not able to find a file called OpenURI. Now if you have seen the first screencast on the downloading and installing, you know that there is some special configuration that you need to do in your environment variables, so that when you're running your IronRuby code, that particular IronRuby the interpreter, it knows where to find the file. Now since we are using C# over here, there is no way for the C# to find where the file is. So what we need to do is to manually add those paths. Okay, so I'm just going to create a variable over here. I'm going to say library paths equal to new list of string, and basically you need to add those paths over here. So library path.add, and I'm going to just add those paths that are required right over here. And there's another path that I need to add, which is, let me copy it, which is right over here. Okay, now once the paths have been added, we need to set the paths in the engine. So I can say set search paths, and I will say library paths. So now this actually know where the path is. So let's run it again. It's going to take some time. Hello world from IronRuby is displayed, and here is all the screen scraping text that is being displayed. So this is all the HTML, and it's being displayed. You can actually see form action, blah blah blah, and this is displayed. It basically went through the website or the default ASPX page of azamsharp.com, and it simply read all the text, all the HTML from the page, and just displayed it over here. Now one of the things that you notice is that it's only achieved in few lines of code. I would say like 2 lines of code. You can do this easily in C# also, but it might require like 5 lines of code. Currently you will not do this. You will not jump from C# to IronRuby, because currently the jumping is expensive procedure. But hopefully when this IronRuby, the whole framework is actually released for the dynamic language runtime is released, it's much more faster than currently right now, in which state right now it is. That's pretty much it. I hope you like the screencast. If you do want to sponsor the screencast on High on Coding, you can always email me at azamsharp@gmail.com. Please do post comments if you like the screencast. If there's anything special you like to see, you can always email me at azamsharp@gmail.com. Thank you very much, and enjoy the screencast.